Hey everybody, I'm Sam and this is the Success Mindset Antiversal podcast. And today I want to talk about the one character trait, the one thing that is the biggest advantage you can have no matter what you're doing. And I would like to think that we should all work on to have more of it and be better at it, because guess what? No one is perfect. If you want to listen to more of the Success Mindset podcast and other amazing videos, make sure to subscribe for Antiversal and turn on notifications. If you are watching this on YouTube, there are other videos in the card section, which is on the top right of your screen. And if you're listening that on one of the Antiversal podcast platforms like Anchor, iTunes, Stitcher, and others, please make sure to leave a review if you enjoyed my content. So, which is that advantage? Well, I think it is very simple. It is understanding. But the same way it is simple, I think it is also very complex, right? So understanding, why is it so important? Well, first of all, if you really understand yourself, you'll be at peace with yourself, which is the best thing you can do for your mental and physical health. You can first of all make the best decisions about your goals in the future and what you want to achieve. You can make the best decisions every day about how to achieve those things, which ultimately sets you in the best position you can be right now. Second of all, if you understand the world around you, once more, that helps you make better decisions, and you can really have insight on what's happening now, and so what can happen in the future, and so see opportunities. And the third thing is understanding other people, which arguably is almost as important as understanding yourself, because whatever we do, we probably are doing it with other people. If you can understand them, if you have empathy, if you can really understand how to help them, how to bring them value, how to get them to be the best of themselves, which automatically makes you a leader and makes you a person who can really influence and really change the things around them. So by all I'm saying, right, it's all about understanding, right? But I think another word for understanding, which kind of covers all of the things that we talk about, is wisdom, right? I think wisdom, sometimes we kind of use wisdom as a word, but we don't really understand what it means, right? We kind of say it as of an abstract thing that, you know about stuff and so on. But I don't think wisdom is about knowing, right? That's just knowledge or something like that. I think wisdom is about understanding, about making the best decisions at every point of time, and about having insight about what's happening and so what will happen in the future. And obviously that is based on experience, that's based on insight and the way your brain works. But ultimately, experiences and so on, they only matter when we understand them and when we have a good vision about what's happening, and what can happen in the future. That's why one of my mottos in the channel is we're on the path to wisdom, right? Because nobody is there, right? And probably nobody will ever be. But if we are on this path and we're learning together and we are working on our mindset to understand more, to be empathetic, to really appreciate the things around us, then we can be on this path and be better and better at it. And I just believe that with getting better understanding, you just can't help but being more successful, because at the end it's all about bringing value, right? If you understand other people, you can bring them value, and by bringing them value, you make an impact, right? And the bigger the value that you can bring, that just means the more value you get in return. And that could be as business, that could be, what I'm doing now, right? Just talking and making content. That could be in any other ways, right? That could be in politics, that could be Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, and so on. But all of this is about having insight and understanding. So how can we actually get better at understanding, right? Well, I'm really working on that for myself, so obviously I'm not some kind of guru or a prophet here. That's what Antiversal is all about, talking about the things that I'm thinking, and hopefully you can leave me feedback back in the comments or connect with me so we can together learn more and help each other, right? This is a society for all of us. But I just believe understanding is a lot about listening, right? And you can start about listening to yourself, which is a bit interesting, but a lot of people just they don't spend the time to listen to themselves, right? They have some kind of ideas that were inserted there when they were little, maybe by their parents, by media, by other people, by just the world around us, and they just never question them, right? Which is why a lot of people live, as we say it, in a box, may have some kind of baggage. And I don't say that there aren't hard things in this world, and a lot of people haven't had good upbringing, or a lot of things happen to them, but dwelling in those and leaving them bring you down doesn't do any good for you, right? So just listen to yourself, understand those things, and when we understand ourselves, we can find ways to better ourselves, right? Which is what we're doing now, right? We're listening to things that can give us ideas, that can influence us better. Then we go ahead and every day work on those things. So, I would just encourage you, just sit down and be honest with yourself. Like, absolutely 100% honest, like what you're good at, right? What you're bad at, what you are afraid of, maybe what you aren't admitting to yourself, and just think about those things. Think about how to eliminate the negatives and how to focus on the positives, and really find what you want to do with your life. Second of all is listening to others. I believe this is very, very important, but it is very, very hard. Really, so little people are good at. But I believe if you really want to make impact and bring value to other people and be a leader, like a true leader, if you've watched some of the Simon Sinek talks I have shared with you previously, you can check them out in my previous videos. He talks about real leadership. So your job is to actually help the other people and enable them to be their best selves. You really need to be listening. You really need to understand them, right? And that happens by listening, right? By not going there and, just giving your best talk that you ever had, or just giving your ideas and, they just need to listen, right? But no, on the contrary, just listen to them. Listen, and, when they're done talking, you can just give your feedback and really appreciate them and give them something that they really need, instead of what you think or assume that they need or want to hear, or what you just want to say. And Nelson Mandela, right? Probably most of us will say that he was a great leader. He actually said, when they asked him about how he actually grew to be such a good leader, he said that his father was a chief in their tribe, and he actually learned from him, right? Because what he was doing is, when they had a meeting, his father didn't go in there and start talking about his vision of what they need to do, but he listened. And all other members of the council, or whatever it was, were talking, share ideas, talk about problems and so on. And he would only talk at the end. And most of the time, he would talk actually very briefly, because probably everything was already said and a good solution was already found. And he would talk only when he could actually bring good value, right? And that's the way that you can enable other people to grow and really be their best selves. And understanding the world, well, that's a completely other talk that I will surely do very soon. But about understanding the world around us, we just need to keep in our minds that there are a lot of things that are facts, right? So I truly believe that we can change almost anything, but I think that for most of the things, it's not worth it trying to change them, right? So we have to just accept a lot of stuff, and I talked about that in my previous success mindset podcast about acceptance, that we need to accept a lot of things and use them as our foundation to actually jump ahead. So when I'm talking about understanding the world around us, I mean about really listening, really seeing what's out there, accepting it, finding the things that we want and we can change, and focus on them and just work and work and work. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. In it, I'll be just sharing with you things that I'm thinking about, that are changing my world, changing my mindset, and I actually see how they're making me more successful in my everyday life. And I hope they can help you too. But this is also an open conversation, right? Antiversal is a society, and I want to get your feedback. Please connect with me, comments on my email or other channels, and tell me what you're thinking about, something that changes your life. And make sure to subscribe for Antiversal and turn on notifications. Also, you can get exclusive content and really cool rewards on my Patreon page. Link is down into the description, which is patreon.com/Antiversal. Stay Antiversal. We're on the path to wisdom. See you next time.